Hurricane Helene becomes a Category 1 hurricane in the Western Caribbean this morning, and it is going to become a major hurricane, a Category 3 or greater intensity, upon landfall in Florida tomorrow evening. So we're going to make all of this all about Hurricane Helene. This video, we're going to be tracking it for you. We're going to be giving you the impacts it will bring and much more. So make sure to subscribe to the channel down below for the latest weather information right at your fingertips. If you subscribe, you get the latest videos and live streams right here on this channel. Make sure to turn on all post notifications for those. Again, give the video a like, a thumbs up down below. It helps out more than you know. And of course, leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to those after the video. So what you're looking at is the GOES satellite imagery, and down here is Hurricane Helene. This actually did just form this morning and near the Yucatan Peninsula as well. And let's zoom it in. You can see very tall thunderstorm cluster into the eastern Yucatan and out into the open water of the Caribbean as it eventually is starting to move into the eastern Gulf of Mexico here over the next few hours. And looking at the latest alerts for Hurricane Helene, we have hurricane warnings in red here across the entirety of the Big Bend of Florida, stretching all the way down into the Tampa Bay region just about. We have tropical storm warnings from Tampa Bay all the way down to the Florida Keys and the entire eastern coast there of Florida, including the Space Coast, and all the way up here to Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, and South Carolina areas of Myrtle Beach as well under that. And then we also have those tropical storm warnings, of course, for Cuba, the Grand Cayman Island, and hurricane warnings for the eastern Yucatan. So a lot of alerts here with this system. And here's the latest track with this from the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida. It is maximum sustained winds of 80 miles per hour. That makes it a Category 1 hurricane. Movement on this storm is north-northwest at 10 miles per hour, so it continues to move closer to the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Rapid intensification is expected over the next 12 to 24 hours here, and you can see it becomes a major hurricane likely overnight tonight into early Thursday morning and continues to remain a major hurricane upon landfall Thursday evening. This will be tomorrow evening and remaining at a tropical storm all the way up into the Atlanta, Georgia area into Friday morning before becoming a post-tropical system. So here's the latest spaghetti models. This puts the hurricane models, the global models, and the ensembles together, and where the track of this will likely be. The center, the eye wall, will likely be in the western part of the Big Bend of Florida. And you can see that we are seeing a lot of warmer ocean temperatures out there in degrees Celsius. You can see well into the 80s here. That's where you have those grays and whites. Those are water temperatures well into the 80s, if not near 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can see that is actually going to catapult this system in intensity all the way up to Category 3 strength, which would make this a major hurricane. Even some models hanging on to a low-end Cat 4. That is still not out of the cards with this system and before it makes landfall. So let's go over a couple of the hurricane models here and see what they show from the morning guidance here. So this is the HAFS A parent model today. This is rounding near the Yucatan and into the eastern Gulf as a 984 millibar low, and then it rapidly intensifies here almost 6 hours later to a 964 millibar, probably a Category 2 hurricane tonight. And then as we go into Thursday, Cat 3 hurricane at 944 millibars, and then upon landfall, possibly getting into that high-end Cat 3, low-end Category 4 strength Thursday evening. This will be tomorrow evening in the Big Bend of Florida. Notice the track is a little bit more to the west in the western Big Bend area there, but impacts will be far and wide outside of that area. Now let's look at the HAFS B parent model. Very similar, 983 millibars here, maybe a millibar or two off from the HAFS A parent model, but just, you know, the same kind of thing here today. Rapid intensification, it does agree on that, down to a 965 there as we go into tonight. Continuously rapid intensification down to 931 millibars. This is a little bit stronger of a solution than the HAFS A model depicted there on Thursday, and a lot stronger as it actually pushes this more to the central Big Bend areas Thursday evening as a 910 millibar, almost a Category 5 system here on this model. So taken all together, peak storm surge is going to be an issue. We could be seeing up to 15-foot storm surge across most of the Big Bend of Florida, up to 8-foot storm surge in the Tampa Bay region, and the Naples, Fort Myers area could see up to 6 6, 7-foot storm surge, and then the Florida Keys here could see up to 3-foot storm surge. And we don't want to forget about Charleston, Savannah, or down in the Jacksonville Beach areas either. They could also see up to 3-foot storm surge across those areas as we go into especially Thursday night, and into Friday. So that is something to keep in mind. And not only is that going to be limited to the coastal regions, even offshore, we're going to see some massive waves with this system. Peak wave intensity on Thursday will be up near 41 feet. So very, very rough surf out here just to the west of Tampa Bay near that eye wall. And let's look at the rainfall aspect of this system. This afternoon, we already have rain falling across the Smoky Mountains and down here into the Atlanta, Georgia area, but the parent system is still down near the Yucatan. As we go into tonight, you can see that rain starts to pick up there with the topography across portions of the Smoky Mountains, and then we start to see some rain bands. The outer bands move into the state of Florida tonight. Thursday, we really get going with the rain, especially as the system starts to approach the coast, the Big Bend area of Florida. As we go into Thursday night, this is probably the peak intensity of the rain across Georgia, North Florida, and the Western Carolinas, all the way up into Eastern Tennessee. Very heavy rainfall rates. Would not be surprised to see rainfall rates between 1 and 3 inches here as we go into Thursday night. And some tornadoes on the eastern side of the system will also be a possibility for Florida, for Georgia, and the Carolinas. And then we're going to see on Friday, this system moves up into the Tennessee Valley, and it's going to stretch out with a heavy rain band stretching nearly from Little Rock into Jonesboro, Arkansas, over here into Clarksville, Tennessee, Nashville, and all the way up toward Lexington, Kentucky. Keeping an eye on that heavy rain band for Friday. And then going into Saturday, we still have moisture down here, but at least we're seeing lighter rainfall on Saturday, and the heavier rainfall is going to start to subside at this point as it becomes a post-tropical cyclone. Here is the total rainfall accumulation between now and Sunday this weekend on September 29th. There will be a swath from the Western Carolinas, including the Asheville, North Carolina area, down into Georgia, including the Atlanta metro, all the way down here into Northwest Florida. We could be seeing a swath of anywhere from 6 to as much as 14 inches worth of rain here, and then a general swath of 2 to 4 inches of rain outside of that in the red shaded color. That could extend as far north as Kentucky, as far north as southern Indiana, southern Ohio, southern Illinois, or as far west as Missouri and Arkansas here. So we're definitely keeping a close eye on this. The rainfall aspect of this system is going to be the most widespread, and there is an upgrade to a high risk for flash flooding across portions there of the tri-state area of North Carolina, South Carolina, and Northeast Georgia today, with a larger slight and moderate risk surrounding that. And then as we go into tomorrow, very large moderate risk taking up a majority of the state of Georgia, eastern Alabama, northwest Florida, and the western Carolinas, far eastern Tennessee there on Thursday. This will be for tomorrow. High risk again in that tri-state area of North Carolina, South Carolina, and northeast Georgia with that high risk for flash flooding. Then even again, another moderate risk for flash flooding on Friday across western North Carolina there, with that slight risk extending back toward Missouri, Arkansas, and southern Illinois as we go into Friday. And thankfully by Saturday, we'll start to see the flash flooding risk subside, but still a marginal risk of flash flooding for the mid-Mississippi Valley and toward the Ohio River Valley as well. Just to understand what these categories mean, if you're under a moderate risk for flash flooding, numerous flash floods are likely, significant events are possible, many streams will flood, potentially even affecting larger tributary rivers. High risk for flash flooding means widespread flash floods are expected. They will be severe, they'll be widespread. Areas that don't normally flood should, and lives and property are in greater danger in this high risk area. We have 2 high risks this week, and that does include as we go into the day today and on Thursday. And just to show you how rare these high risk days are for flash flooding, they are a big deal. High risks are only issued by the Weather Prediction Center only at 4% of the days, and they have accounted for 1 of 3 of all flood related fatalities, and 4 out of the 5 of all flood-related damages to your home and stuff like that. So these are very high-end days that we have to watch out for as we go over the next 48 hours or so. And we'll keep you covered right here for you on this channel. Thank you for watching today's weather forecast. Hopefully you take in all the information that I gave you. Subscribe to the channel for the latest weather information right at your fingertips, as we will be around the clock updating you guys on the weather forecast here and Hurricane Helene, and throughout the year as well, the weather forecast in general. Make sure to press the like button, the thumbs up button down below. Leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to all those after the video here, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Wednesday out there.